Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we're doing the season expectations and preview for, of course, my favorite team, the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm a masochist. I love the Timberwolves, the Wizards, and the Orlando Magic. All I've had in my life is, I guess, a lot of sadness in terms of basketball fandom, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're going to be talking about, of course, the good old, yes, talking about those T-Wolves, Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, and the boys are back. And honestly, this team, believe it or not, is like, I feel like continuity was the best thing they could have done. And that's what they spent the offseason doing. I didn't meet Tim Conley. I met Pat Conley, his brother, the one who's the assistant general manager of the Bulls during Summer League. Nice guy. He was talking to someone else, so I can take advantage of the conversation. But either way, the T-Wolves' current roster starting lineup is going to be Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert. My prediction this year is Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be a dog and going to look like the best version of himself. Anthony Edwards is either going to win MVP or going to be the runner-up to Luka Doncic MVP. And Rudy Gobert is going to be better, but I still don't think he's going to be that defensive player of the year guy he was in Utah, but he's going to be better than what he was last year. Now, off the bench, we have Jordan McLaughlin, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Troy Brown Jr., Kyle Alexander, Naz Reid, Shake Milton, Wendell Moore Jr., Leonard Miller, and Josh Minott as the 14 guys. Luka Garza, Matt Ryan, and Jalen Clark are 3 two-ways, and Vik Krejci and Trevor Keels will be fighting for the 15th roster spot, and I hope it's Trevor Keels. Now, I think Shake Milton will supplant Jordan McLaughlin as the backup point guard. I just think Shake gives us a bit more versatility, and he's more of a combo guard, but with Shake and Wendell Moore, could play point. He's a good, all-around guard, and he can play wing too. Troy Brown Jr. gives us that 3-and-D that we need. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, if he can carry over what he did in Canada for us over here, be freaking amazing. He's been looking good. Mike Conley, he's that defensive pass first, can score guy. We all know who Ant is. Jaden McDaniels, that guy could be a defensive player of the year, all defensive caliber player, being backed up by Troy Brown. Then Karl-Anthony Towns, going to be a 3-point rebounding menace who can hopefully be a rim protector and maybe even go out a little bit into space and guard on the perimeter a bit and not get exposed. Kyle Anderson, is that pass first, defensive first, point forward. And Leonard Miller and Josh Minott probably going to spend a lot of time in the G, but maybe they can surprise us and give us some minutes like Wendell Moore. Naz Reid just got paid. Expect him to kind of be our sixth man. And I'm excited. We got a 3-year, $42 million deal, which pretty good deal. And also Nickeil Alexander on that 2-year, $9 million, not bad. And Naz Reid's coming back from a left wrist fracture. Jaden McDaniels broken right hand. Kyle Anderson had left eye surgery, and Jalen Clark has a torn right Achilles. So for me, getting Leonard Miller was dope. And look, Shake Milton's a 37.8% three-point shooter from last year. And over here, the Wolves are obviously wanting this continuity to improve the core group. And that, God, my voice right there just went. Now, and that particularly Gobert and Towns, who now are going to have a full season together, plus after, Towns missing 50 plus games due to a calf tear, strain, whatever it was. Then they gave Edwards the bag. You got McDaniels emerging, so they didn't do anything major money-wise because they know they got to see what they have right here. I feel like the preface of this video should be that Anthony Edwards is going to be an MVP. He's going to be a guy that's going to be a menace to society if you do not believe it yourself. I don't know why I got so excited there, but let's just get right into it. And what I truly do believe is that Anthony Edwards' ascension into, if Luka Doncic doesn't win it, it's Anthony Edwards who's winning MVP this year. I also think that Anthony Edwards taking his game to the next level. What do I mean taking the game to the next level? being a guy, I mean, he's already taking over games, but he's being the guy who unlocks his teammates. We already saw he's became this passer. I think he's going to be the reason why Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns will work is because of Anthony Edwards. He's going to unlock them. He's going to be such a potent threat that Rudy Gobert is going to be a Dunkin' machine. They're going to call him Dunkin' Donuts. And Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be this Dirk Nowitzki-esque, hopefully, guy who might actually look like the man he was supposed to be, because people don't realize in the first 3 seasons of his career, especially when Kevin Garnett was training him, this man was a menace. But this is Anthony Edwards' team. There's Jaden McDaniels out there too. All right, we got Mike Conley. Like, I do believe that the core of this team has put themselves in a position to be capable of winning, or at least having, flourishing and being a productive member of, or not productive, like being productive members of the NBA, where Anthony Edwards is going to be a guy who can easily help wield this team to wins. And I think that's the biggest part. I think a lot of people are expecting the Timberwolves to be a team that they're going to be a borderline play-in team. But no, Chris Finch is one of the best coaches in the NBA. He hasn't really had the roster to show it, except that one year where everyone was like shocked, and then we traded everything for Rudy Gobert. But that's here nor there. And with Josh Minott, Wendell Moore, and a few of the young guys, potentially being pieces to our offense, I think also having Naz Reid will be huge and something that I very much will enjoy. And I do think that this is a very good team, as I love everything they have done this offseason. At the end of the day, let's be honest, they didn't go out and do anything specifically that you would be like, okay, this is a team that made the right moves or did anything worth note this offseason, because we didn't, okay? The Timberwolves, their roster this year is very similar to last year's roster. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? We have Rudy Gobert, Karl-Anthony Towns, Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, Kyle Anderson, not as Reid. I like the addition of Shake Milton. It gives us a bit more size, and it allows us to shoot, more and have some perimeter playmaking in terms of not only shooting but shot creation, which I think is going to be something that will help us a lot. As well, Nickeil Alexander-Walker's ascension for Team Canada is going to carry over for us, and I think that'll be something very big for us, as well as getting more perimeter defense in Troy Brown Jr. I think he's going to be a guy who's going to be able to come out and provide some, just being I guess the right word would be just being able to have a guy who can come off and wreak havoc as a defender. I think will be a lot more, will carry its weight in gold, I think, and that's going to be something huge and something I think as a group will thoroughly enjoy. But next up, I do think we'll see more minutes of Wendell Moore and Mr. Josh Minott. I think we'll get some minutes. Leonard Miller, I don't know if he'll really get any minutes, but I mean, I'm definitely keen to see if he can make an impact as a youngling. I don't know. I definitely think that this is a team that could realistically, if there's a shocking team that's a top 3 seed, it's the Minnesota Timberwolves, because Anthony Edwards is going to make everyone that much better. But then again, who knows, on the real note. And that's where I want to hear you guys' thoughts. What do you guys expect from this team and why? I'm definitely curious to hear everyone's opinions, as this season is going to be a fun one. And I have a lot of expectations for these Timberwolves to be pretty good.